सो हाय वेलकम बैक टू दिस अनदर एपिसोड विद मी आरशी। मैं हूँ आईआईटी रुड़की में। मेरे पीछे एक बहुत ही सुंदर बिल्डिंग है एंड आई थिंक इस कॉलेज को कोई भी इंट्रोडक्शन की ज़रूरत नहीं है। इट वाज द फर्स्ट इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज इन इंडिया जो कि 1847 में स्टार्ट हुआ था। 2001 में इसको रीनेम किया गया था with the name of IIT Roorkee, and इस वीडियो में हम स्पेसिफिकली बात कर रहे हैं about their department which is DOMS Roorkee जो कि 1998 में स्टार्ट हुआ था। and we have to talk about DOMS, we have Professor Rajat Agarwal for this specific episode, and trust me इसके लिए मुझे 4 रीटेक लगे हैं। So sir, I think आपकी life तो sorted है because I am in love with the campus. It's very beautiful. So what do you want to say on campus first of all?
Yeah, it is one of the best campus in the country with respect to greenery, with respect to landscaping, and we know that it was started in 1847, and we have gone through 4 different avatars. It was once upon a time Thomson College of Engineering, then it became University of Roorkee, and then now it is IIT Roorkee, where we are talking of multidisciplinary education. We started management when we were University of Roorkee, and now we are into design, humanities, science, computer applications, many other disciplines also. So campus is really beautiful. When I joined this campus way back in 2008, we had around 2,500 students in the campus. Right now we are around 10,000 students in the campus. So Roorkee has this IIT Roorkee, we have NIH also in the same campus. We have another very important institution, CBRI, in this campus. So this campus is very important, where 3 institutions of national importance are there in one single campus, IIT, CBRI and NIH. So those who come from any part of the country, they become in love of this campus, and people do not want to go any other institution. Though Roorkee is not a big town, it's a small place, we don't have airport and we don't have any malls, big shopping areas, but still the campus life makes you nostalgic like that.
Definitely. So in this specific, discussion, in this specific podcast, we'll be discussing about a topic which is MBA from IITs, right? Almost 2.5, 3 lakh students write CAT every single year, and हर साल competition increase हो रहा है.
जी.
Student have this confusion which to opt, which not to opt. जब हम बात MBA की करते हैं, एक दिमाग में thought process रहता है कि ठीक है, IIMs are there, ठीक है?
Yes.
Either older or baby or new IIMs, and there are multiple colleges also.
Yes.
IITs, they're known for engineering. They have a very old legacy for engineering. But yeah, they also have this MBA, which are like, quite good in terms of ROI, quite good in terms of placements also. But still, there are multiple questions which students have. So on this specific thing, we'll be discussing in this video. So first of all, I just want to know your opinion on this topic, MBA from IITs. What comes to your mind?
So yes, this is a big question, matter of debate also, that IITs were created by Government of India for engineering and technology education, and maybe science education also, because science is also very integral part of engineering and technology. So why IITs entered into this B education? So later we realized that India needs those professionals who are more techno managers. So without understanding technology, you cannot be a good manager, which is the need of India's development. When we talk of Viksit Bharat vision of Prime Minister Modi, it is very important that we create that manpower who can understand technology side also and who can do management side also. And for that purpose, MBA from IITs give you this opportunity which help you in understanding the technology as well as management also. And in all the old IITs where we are running the MBA programs, it is quite interdisciplinary MBA programs where engineers or non-engineers, they also get a flavor of technology. What type of new inventions are happening, what type of new IPRs are being created, and how these IPRs are going to be the game changer for Indian industry. So probably that type of exposure you will not have in only B schools, which are standalone B schools, whether they are private or whether they are IIMs. The kind of interdisciplinarity which is needed in modern education for particularly country like India, we provide that type of interdisciplinarity. Lot of projects which are coming to our engineering departments in IITs, they also have a component of economic analysis. They also have a component of social analysis. And if you do not have these management graduates, you will not be able to fulfill those aspects of any program. You develop a very tall high-rise building. Now, in that high-rise building, if you are only an architect, you will go for the designing aspect of the building. But what is the cost implication? That comes with the management knowledge. So, when you are in IITs, you get this kind of exposure that a new technology which is coming, what is the business aspect of this technology? So that way, IITs are those MBAs where we are able to provide a holistic product to the industry, and that's why this is a kind of a USP of doing MBA from any of the IIT BE schools.
इससे रिलेटेड मेरे दिमाग में कुछ क्वेश्चंस भी आ रहा है, बट वो क्वेश्चन मैं एंड में पूछूंगी, जो आई थिंक बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स मुझसे भी पूछते हैं कई बार व्हेन दे लुक फॉर आईआईटीज. बट व्हाट डू यू थिंक, कि इफ आई मीन देयर आर सो मेनी बी स्कूल्स आउट देयर,
Yes.
राइट, एंड हर बी स्कूल जो इंडिया के टॉप बी स्कूल्स में, दे आर आल्सो डूइंग गुड इन टर्म्स ऑफ प्लेसमेंट, इन टर्म्स ऑफ करिकुलम.
Yes.
But what students will get in IIT that they'll not get anywhere else? I mean, if I talk about the USP of IITs.
Yeah, so USP of the IIT is like one, interdisciplinarity or multidisciplinarity, which is only possible in this kind of institution, whether it is IIT or whether it is a large university also, where you have multiple departments which are very much unrelated. And we create our academic structure in such a manner that students can take elective courses from those departments also. So in standalone BE schools, however good it may be, it is not possible. That is their fundamental constraint, which we are able to overcome. Second is the number of students, the vibrance which you have in any IIT kind of setup. Like in my campus at Roorkee, we have around 10,000 students. So it's such a vibrant campus. You have a day life, you have a night life in the campus. You go to any best BE school in our country, which is only BE school, it will be having only maximum 1,000 students in their campus. So 1,000 versus 10,000, you can understand the opportunities. And then we have so many active student clubs where you have large number of students working for out of their curriculum activities. Like at Roorkee, we have student technical councils, and in that student technical council, we have 42 different verticals. And if students get proper exposure, so it is kind of a practical management they will be doing, which is beyond classroom. So what we are not teaching in the classroom, they get exposure, they get learning opportunities of all those things in an IIT kind of institution. So that has become a unique selling point. But yes, I can also admit to that extent that the perception of the public is that IITs are for technical education,
Yes, yes.
not for management education, and IIMs are for management education. So we always face that challenge, and we are continuously trying to build that kind of PR so that people can understand, can come to IITs, and we have long legacy of our alumni, which is also helping us in a way that how IIT MBA is uniquely positioned vis-a-vis to other standalone BE schools.
मेरा ये क्वेश्चन है, जैसे कि आपने एक चीज़ खुद ही बोली, जो क्वेश्चन मैं पूछना भी चाह रही थी, कि स्टूडेंट का पर्सपेक्टिव ये है, जैसे कि आपने ऑल्सो ये भी बोला कि यहाँ पे हम मैनेजमेंट के साथ टेक्निकल साउंड भी करते हैं स्टूडेंट्स को, बिकॉज दैट व्हाट कंपनी नीड्स. तो स्टूडेंट के दिमाग में ये भी थॉट प्रोसेस रहता है दैट आई मीन IITs आर नोन फॉर इंजीनियर्स, राइट, दैट्स वन थिंग. सेकेंडली, यही सेम डोमिनेंट you also get at the time of placements also, that you'll find more IT companies. I mean, if we talk about the marketing, finance or HR, ये जो non-IT domain companies हैं, वो उतना नहीं रहेगा if we talk about IITs.
Yeah, so people can see it like whether glass is half full or half empty. So we consider it as our USP that all those companies which require some kind of technical profile in their management trainees, they come to IITs. So most of the consulting companies, they look IITs before other BE schools. Most of those companies which are looking for strategic role, they come to IITs before going to other BE schools. Yes, when it comes to selling of FMCGs, maybe IIT will not be their first choice. But whenever it is related to analytics, whenever it is related to some kind of other technology management activities, innovation management activities, which is very important these days, they come to IIT before going to any other BE school because of this unique aspect that either they feel that they have the technical knowledge, or since we have gone into this kind of environment where our students very well appreciate the technology, so this gives them a lot of leverage in their placement activities. But simply it's a very crude sales job, very crude FMCG selling kind of activities. IIT may not be in their priority list for that way. And it helps that our students from day one know that what type of profile they need to build, so that they become the choice of the recruiter. And that way is a very good, you can say, product market fit, that we know that who can be the potential recruiter for our students, and our students also know their requirement. So we are able to do this matchmaking very well for our students.
So I also have this one question कि आपका batch size क्या है MBA का?
Our batch size is relatively small. We at Roorkee take only 95 students in our MBA batch. So it is relatively smaller as compared to other standalone B schools. Yeah.
So what do you think, you know, I mean, if we talk about कोई भी दूसरा college, they have 400, 500 students and you just have a batch size of 95 students. तो इससे students को क्या advantage मिलता है in terms of curriculum, in terms of placements? क्या opportunities
Yeah,
रहती?
so it is again a very interesting question, because why are not we going for numbers? Why have we restricted ourselves on this small batch size? So there are 2-3 very distinct advantage. We have a system of faculty advisor in our department. Not only in our department, it's a entire institute policy that we should have faculty advisor. So we are able to maintain a very good ratio of faculty advisor per student, so that each student may have either one or maybe two faculty advisors also sometime. And this helps them in deciding their core subjects, elective subjects, how to prepare better for the placements and all those things. So we are able to maintain a very healthy faculty student ratio because of the smaller batch size. That is point number one. Point number two, since we are having a small batch size, we are able to provide more opportunities to our students in terms of their recruitment. I can give you that last year we provided around 10 to 12 opportunities on an average to each student, which probably may not be possible when you have a large batch size. So that is also very well done.
इसमें मैं एक और चीज ऐड करना चाहूंगी. आई मीन आई थिंक दिस पॉइंट आई टोटली अग्री बिकॉज यू नो द कॉलेजेस जिनके बैच साइज बहुत ज्यादा होते हैं उसमें होता नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं होता कि कंपनीज नहीं आती, प्लेसमेंट्स नहीं होते, पर एक स्टूडेंट के पास मल्टीपल अपॉर्चुनिटीज नहीं होती बिकॉज दे हैव टू प्लेस द रेस्ट ऑफ द बैच. दे ऑल्सो हैव दिस प्रेशर. तो अगर लेट्स से एक स्टूडेंट एक जगह प्लेस हो गया तो उसके पास और ऑप्शंस नहीं रहते हैं. बट विद लेसर बैच साइज जो आप बता रहे हैं कि एक स्टूडेंट के पास ऑलमोस्ट 10-11 अपॉर्चुनिटीज हैं.
10-11 opportunities to appear. But once you got selected, then we have a placement policy system also, that you can get opportunity only when there is a particular X factor increase in the salary packages.
Okay.
Then only you will be eligible. But before you get placed, you are able to appear at least in 10 to 12 companies. So that is a good point with the smaller batch size. Another important thing with smaller batch size is our ability to give opportunities of the live projects. Our professors at IIT, we get a lot of consulting and research projects. So we are able to include our students in those live projects. So with a smaller batch size, we are able to provide those opportunities also. If it is a larger batch size, probably we may not be able to include everybody for the live projects. So that is also a possibility. Almost all our students with a smaller batch size, they are part of one or other clubs. Not only part, they are active member. They do a lot of activities because of the small batch size. So there are certain very interesting benefits with the smaller batch size, which probably may not be there in a very large batch size. There, you see, it's always a normal curve which fits. So in a smaller batch size, almost all of them will get into the center of the normal curve. But in a larger batch size, there will be large number of students who will be in the left tail also. And probably you will understand they may not have those many opportunities.
Also have this question, I mean, if we look at any IIMs, right? I mean, they are very expensive. I mean, government colleges पहले students लेते थे क्योंकि fees कम होगी. एक thought process था कि ठीक है, we want to get into government colleges because of fee structure. But if we talk about management side, you look at IIMs, you look at majority of colleges, I mean, you have to pay a high fees. Near about, it's 18 to 20 lakh in terms of investment. We look at IITs, the fee structure is just half of the investment what they're making to IIMs. So do you think that's also an advantage if we look at IITs in terms of ROI, because a lot of students look for colleges where
Yeah,
they can get more return.
it may be a factor, but may not be a very dominating factor, because when you go to IITs and IIMs, you get a lot of support in terms of education loan from most of the
Banks.
nationalized banks from our country.
Hmm.
So students generally take that loan also, even if our fee structure is very competitive on that side. But I know that majority of students take education loan to, because they do not want to give this pressure to their parents, and since they are more adult and they feel that they can take care of their own education, so that way. But yes, our fee is very competitive, and it is a factor of consideration that many students, when they compare only on the fee structure, because India, if you see, is a slightly price sensitive
Yes.
community.
Yes.
So fee plays a very important role, and our fee is very on a lower side when you see even new IIMs also in that matter. So that can play a role. But since education loans are very easily available, I think students are able to manage that part on their own also.
Okay. So can we also talk about this selection and admission criteria? I mean, I think you also have this Golden Girl scheme specifically to DOMS IIT Roorkee, where you are allowing female candidates to get into the college without, CAT weightage if they are from NIRF top 50 overall category ranked
Yes,
colleges.
yes.
Yeah.
So the whole idea is this diversity and inclusion criteria of IIT Roorkee. We are very much committed to go for more diversity in IIT campus, and for that purpose, we are trying to facilitate in multiple ways. So there are various schemes at IIT Roorkee which are only targeting women candidates. Like Golden Girl is one such scheme, which is for PG admission level. If you are topper of your batch and your institution is in top 50 NIRF category, you are exempted to appear in CAT examination, and you can directly come to DOMS for admission process, and you will not be counted in the normal merit. That is also very important thing. It's supernumerary seats. So as many Golden Girls we are able to find, we can take admission without giving any competition with our routine CAT candidates. So it has two benefits. You are exempted from CAT admission, and you are also not in the competition with those candidates, because even Golden Girls have to appear in the interview process. So interview is common whether you are a CAT candidate or you are a Golden Girl candidate, but the merit list is prepared separately. So there is no competition in the merit with the CAT candidates. So that is point number one. We have one more scheme which is known as Shakuntala, which is for the PhD level, again targeting for the women candidates. So we are very much committed that how we can increase diversity in our campus, we can make more inclusive campus. I will also like to tell you at this point that we are in the country having maximum number of international students. So you talk of any B school or any IIT, IIM, we are having the maximum number of international students. We are getting students from somewhere around 63 different countries.
Okay.
So earlier we were getting students mostly from our neighboring countries. Then now we are getting from Asian countries. We are getting students from Central Asian countries also, and now we are getting some students from European countries also. So therefore, it's not only girls. We are trying to increase the different ethnicities also in our campus.
So if we, look at MBA, graduation mein, irrespective, what have you done? I mean, either it's BCom or BBA, or you are a lawyer, or you're a doctor, you're engineer, you still have this option that you can make your career in the field of management. And that is the reason, we find quite diversification in terms of the undergraduate students. So, I mean, they have this primarily goal, that is placements, right? Because though we look at the curriculum, we look at the exposure, we look at the faculties, everything is there, but with that, placement is on the top, right? So, as we were like discussing, what do you think, placement opportunities may what students can get specifically, if in this case we can talk about DOMS IIT Roorkee, what sort of opportunities are there and what you can get here which you'll not find in other B schools out there?
Yeah, so as I said that those recruiters who feel that they want some kind of technical, analytical knowledge
Hmm.
in their employees, they generally come to IITs.
Hmm.
So we have a lot of recruiters coming on annual basis, looking for risk analyst kind of profiles, looking for business analyst type
Hmm.
of profile, data analytics type of profile. So these are some of the high selling profiles which are going from IITs. We all know that how in India e-commerce and quick commerce is coming up.
Yes.
So all supply chain related
Hmm.
roles, for that also IITs are their first
Hmm.
choices because of technology and
Risk
management both.
management, yes.
And then another very interesting thing is some of the PSUs
Hmm.
are also coming to IITs, which they will not go to other B schools.
Hmm.
So some of my own students, they are serving into various PSUs like BHEL, Bharat Electronics Limited, some of the PSU banks also,
Hmm.
because PSUs could come
Hmm.
to IIT for a placement drive. So all these are the benefits that if you are looking for more analyst kind of jobs,
Hmm.
PSU type of jobs, IITs can provide that opportunities.
So I also want to add this: if we talk about PSUs, you'll hardly find other than IITs coming to other B schools.
Yes.
Yes. Also have this question, academics play a very important role. I mean, because end of the day, though a college can, pump up companies, they can bring companies into the campus, but companies will be providing all those packages placement to students only. And for that, development of a student plays a very important role. And, we also have this NEP, which is National Education Policy in terms of diversification of subjects. How DOMS Roorkee have introduced into their curriculum, into their academics.
Yeah, this is a very favorite question of mine. I will love to answer this question in detail. The academic structure which is there in IIT Roorkee DOMS, it is very unique because we offer MBA in 8 terms,
Hmm.
and there are many subjects which are of 1.5 credits
Hmm.
or even 1 credit
Hmm.
also. And this we introduce to provide lot of flexibility in our curriculum,
Hmm.
so that a student can choose his own MBA transcript the way he or she wants. And in this way, we are able to introduce various industry courses
Hmm.
where the industry professionals can come, can stay for let's say 2 weeks and complete one course of 1.5
Hmm.
credit. So we are very much flexible in our MBA curriculum. In fact, we also offer EMBA, and the USP of that EMBA is only flexibility.
Hmm.
No other institution in the world offers the kind of flexibility which we are able to offer. So we are fulfilling the objective of flexibility. We are also fulfilling the objective of interdisciplinarity. We have 2 courses of total 4 credits, which are known as STAR and SSC courses,
Hmm.
which our students take from other departments. So necessarily out of total 73 credits, they need to take 4 credits from other engineering or science departments of the campus. So they are getting exposed. I was talking continuously about exposure to technology.
Hmm.
So only when their curriculum allows these things, they will be exposed to technology. So 4 credits they need to take from other departments, so that they understand that what are the things happening in those departments, what type of research. Like for example, we have a department which is known as HRED.
Hmm.
Now a lot of hydro projects,
Hmm.
their simulation activities etc happen in that department. Now when our students are going to that department to take courses, they know that what are the challenges of hydro
So they have this
projects.
additional courses.
No, it's part of the structure.
Okay, it's
It's
part of the
it's not
structure.
additional.
Hmm.
It's part of the
Okay,
structure.
nice.
So some of them may take courses on hydro energy. Some of them may take courses related to earthquake.
Hmm.
So lot of disaster management,
Hmm.
and you may be knowing about disaster supply chains.
Yes.
Unless until you understand the dynamics of the disaster, how will you plan a supply chain for helping the rehabilitation activities in or relief activities for the victims of disaster? So we provide all those courses because we have full-fledged departments running those types of courses. Our students take one course from any of those departments, and depending upon their interest, they may get more exposure into those particular technical domains also.
Okay. Now I have few more questions, which is not in context to this IIT or MBA. I mean, obviously, everybody aspire to get a good placement, and for that, there's always a debate that whether knowledge matters or skill matters the most?
Yeah, you see, we all know that even when I was a student, there was nothing like AI. Even softwares for data analysis were not available. We used to do all our calculations either through calculators or by paper and pen. But then, when I became a professor, we had SPSS, MOS for data analysis purpose, and now even that is a old story. We have AI, machine learning, deep learning tools available. So skills keep changing very fast. So, but skills are required for your initial placement activities, because when you are entering into the corporate world, you may not be doing the strategic work immediately. You are supposed to do a lot of work where skill is dominated. But when you go up in the ladder, knowledge plays a very important role, and knowledge is more or less a constant phenomena. Well, skill you need to continuously upgrade also.
Upgrade, yes.
So here it becomes a very important phenomena for a B school, for its curriculum, that how you balance skills and knowledge in your structure. For employability of your students in the early time, you need to focus well on skill part also. If you don't provide skill, you will not be able to do the entry level work. But to ensure that your student should become CEO of the companies one day, you need to see that proper knowledge is also imparted to them. So there has to be a proper balance
Balance.
of both these things, I will say.
Also, I mean, I think we have discussed about the curriculum, we have discussed about the placement, we have also discussed, also, you yourself interact with a lot of companies coming to the placement, right? Including PSUs, including consulting companies. What do you feel, what they exactly need in a candidate, end of the day? Because, we almost every single time look at, that what college is providing, but we are not looking at that what exactly company needs in a candidate.
Yeah, so generally, with my understanding and the feedback which I have received from various recruiters coming to our department, companies need two fundamental things. One is clarity on the fundamentals. Companies do not want that you should be expert of the latest technologies. You should be exposed to the latest technology, that is add on. But basically, they need that you should be clear about the fundamentals. Companies are not going to teach you fundamental. They will give you training. Once you become part of the organization, they will train you on the working environment, on the skill sets which they need from you. But fundamentals, so we focus in our MBA program more on fundamentals, that fundamental clarity is very important. If your fundamentals are clear, you can be excelling in any field. That is point number one. And second is their focus is on integrity and your behavioral aspects also. For example, you have done a summer project, and then a company is coming asking, first question most of them ask about the summer projects.
SIP, yes.
And if you are not able to explain what did you do in your summer project, it is kind of a start negative points in your accumulation. So it also tells you that whatever you have written in your report, you know what have you done. You are very clear about the various kind of methodologies, issues related to your project. So it becomes a kind of a testing of the candidate's integrity, that you have created a report and you are not aware of your report, that what is there in that report. So it tells about the personality of a person. And these are the two things which I feel companies are more interested, because they have done due diligence with respect to our curriculum, then only they have come to placement activities. Now they want to check fundamentals of the candidates and their personality with respect to their integrity, hard work, ethics, etc.
I think, I'm almost done with all my questions. I just want you to, I just request you to, give one last suggestion to all those aspirants who are watching your video, so that, whether they make a decision to come to this specific college or any other B schools, they can have those learnings and implement it in future.
Yeah, so the only point which I always say, that there is no shortcut to hard work. And when you become a student, you should try to take advantage of wherever you go. You come to Roorkee, you are most welcome. You go to any other place of your choice. But try to take maximum advantage of those 2 years, that how you are able to clear your fundamentals, how you are able to develop, because management education is much more beyond the classroom. So you need to develop a broader view to have a better understanding of the business world, how one thing is impacting other. So unless until your this kind of cognitive abilities are not in sync with whatever you are studying, you will not be a very successful manager. So to be a successful manager, CEO of a big company, you need to have more creative mindset, open your imagination windows, and also focus on your fundamentals. So that is my message to all the aspirants who are looking for B education.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time. It was
Pleasure,
lovely
Arshi,
interacting to
talking to
you.
you. Pleasure,
I
all small
love
mind.
the weather, loving the conversation. Thank you so
Good.
much.
Today is a good sunshine.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much.